C.3 Basic CSS Properties Part 1. All right. From this video, we will start several basic CSS properties. Yeah. We cannot cover, most of them. Yeah. So here I take this approach. I want to give you a description of the overall structure, understanding CSS. Yeah. Because many of the details, specifics, details, we do not have to know all of them when we learn the first time. But we need to have a good understanding of this whole technology. When we really need to use it, then we can do the web search, we can find the specifics. Yeah. But when we learn it, we need to know the structure. We need to know the ideas. We need to know the design purpose, all those things. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So let's start. The first one, CSS border properties. Border, yeah. So when you have an element, so you can imagine it's a rectangular region, right? So we need to describe its border. What style, several properties we need to describe. So the CSS border properties. Yeah. Here, when we describe the style, several things we need to provide information, style, with color. Yeah. So we can use a list of a set of rules. Property value pair, right? Remember the property name value pair. Yeah. Declaration block. We use that way to describe our border style. Yeah. First, we need to use this border dash style property name. That's the property name. So here you can see I use different font. This font means the exact spelling of the property. Now, all right. Example. So one rule, one declaration, property name, border dash style, colon, style name, dotted. Yeah, there is one style dotted, semicolon. Okay, complete, this property declaration. Yeah. And you can change. There are a list of other styles you can choose. Yeah. Here, let me show you the picture so you can see for different style, the look is different. So the dotted, dashed, solid, double, border. So you just use the style name. Okay, double, right? Groove, right? Rich, like that. Inset, like that. Offset, no border, right? No border, none. Okay, right? None. Yeah. Hidden border, hidden. You use hidden. Yeah. Mixed. Yeah. So when you really need to choose, so here you do not need to memorize all of them. Nobody can memorize all the details. Here we just know in our mind, we have the impression, oh, there are such things there available for us. When we really need to do our design, starting work, then we search the web. So we get a list, then we choose from there. Okay, so that's simple. Yeah. All right. The second property called the border width property. So now we want to describe the width of the border, right? Yeah. So the width of like this. Yeah. How do we describe the width of the border? The thick width, thin width, right? So things like that, right? So we can describe the width in two different ways. One way, precise way, we specify the size. There is a way to specify the size using certain units. Using some units, okay? The other way, not the precise way, just, people, roughly, some rough description, these three: thin, medium, thick, okay? Yeah. Many times it's pretty good enough, right? You do not need very precise border line, right? Yeah. But if you need, we have many different ways to provide a size. Here, I give you these units. Yeah. PX, PT, CM, EM, IN. These 5. Yeah. Although there are a few more, but that's pretty much, covering 90-something%. Yeah. First, cm, centimeters. So that's centimeter. Okay. Yeah. Inches. Yeah. You can use that. But usually you can think about, when we talk about the border width, centimeter, inches, too big, right? Yeah. How many times you use border width near an inch, near a centimeter? Nobody will do that, right? So that's why most of the time we use much smaller units. Yeah. Pixel, yeah. PX means pixel, yeah. Image, so you have the pixel concept, right? So each image, each little small element, pixel, we call it pixel, yeah. The exact meaning of the pixel, picture element. So you combine two words, picture element, together, so you form that pixel word. Yeah. Here we use that pixel concept. PT, points. Yeah, 1 point. Yeah, so you define a point. But how large is a point, right? So you may need to ask that. When you use printer to print on paper, the printer has that point concept, right? Yeah, so on a printer, yeah, there is a point, using the point, yeah, that one, okay. EM, yeah, EM is a very special unit. What's that? It is a relative unit. The other four, they are absolute units. Absolute means no matter what computer do you use, what devices you use, these units always the same on all those, computers. Yeah. Relative, for different computer, the scale, the size could be different. Yeah. So that's the relative. So here, and this one could be very useful. So I put it here. Yeah. EM, so the exact size, that's the height of capital M. So if you type capital M on your current device, so whatever it is, big, small, capital M, then its height is used as the unit of EM, the relative unit. The advantage of this relative unit is it can, our layout, if we design our layout using this EM, it can adjust based on the screen size of your devices. That would be very nice. If you use the absolute way, okay, when you use your own computer, it looks perfect, right? Yeah, some design layout looks perfect, but now you move to a different computer, right? A very small one, cell phone, a big screen computer. After you move there, boop, messed up. Yeah. Everything, all your design, very messy. Okay. The components, location, yeah. That happens frequently. Yeah. For that kind of situation, so many designers, they like to use the relative unit measure. Okay? Relative unit measure. So on my computer, it looks good. Yeah. But when I move to different computers, then, the size will be adjusted using your local computer, local scale, right? Yeah. So that will solve that, size problem, screen size problem. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that's the size here. Okay. Then for the relationship, 1 inch equals 96 pixels, 72 points. Okay. So that's the exact definition with that, inch unit, and 2.454 centimeters. Okay, yeah. So that's the exact relationship between those 4 absolute units. Yeah. So you get an idea. Yeah. So when you, do your own design, yeah, you will set the right size. Yeah. Here, just give you some example. Okay, you can see 5 pixels, 5px, the border width already very thick. Okay, so thick. Okay, 5. Okay, yeah, 96. That's 1 inch. So you can see, yeah, how much usually we need. Yeah, the medium size like that. 2px, yeah, this like that, and the thick one like that. Okay, yeah, so you get an idea. Yeah, in your real world design, you need to do experiments. Okay, you need to try different ways, which one looks better, right? You need to do a lot of experiments to finally to get the best design. All right, so next, we want to look at another important property for the border, the color property. Here, when we discuss the border color, we try to understand the structure of the color, the way to describe the color. Because later in many other places, we need to use color. So the idea is the same. All right. Border dash color property. So you need to specify color in different ways. So here I show you, these main methods used. Yeah. Some rarely used, I just skip. So I do not cover all of them. Yeah. All right. So first, you specified a color by its name. Here, red is its name. Okay. Yeah, this one very convenient because we know what color we want to use. We just type the color name. Yeah. Here, I give you some name examples so you can replace that color name. Yeah. And there are many other names. Yeah. Nobody can memorize all the color names. The standard colors people can memorize easily, but there are many non-standard color names. How can people memorize that, right? Yeah. All right. Next one. Yeah. So remember, when we assign colors to the border of an element, there are 4 sides of the border. So we can specify 4 different colors. If you really want, you can do that. 4 different colors for 4 sides. But You need to tell the web browser which color corresponds to which side. Here in CSS, that order is predefined. You cannot use your own way to define the order. You have to use the CSS order, specific order. Yeah, that is the order used by CSS. Top first. Okay? The first color corresponds to top. Okay? Right. Yeah. So here you can see clockwise. Top first, top. Okay? Right after top, you move to right. Clockwise. That's the clock. Right? So then bottom. Okay? Then bottom. Clockwise. Okay? Then finally left. Left. Okay? Yeah. Clockwise. Right? So, but start from top. Yeah. So that's the hidden rule. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Used by CSS. Yeah. Next example, we can also describe, because this using the color names, it is very limited. Yeah. We know there are a large number of colors available in the world. You cannot assign each color a specific name. Mainly people assign some commonly used colors names. Rarely used colors, people do not need to give it any name, right? Yeah. But for that situation, we can use the RGB values. RGB value. Each color, we can divide it into 3 components. Red component, green component, and a blue component. RGB. So we use RGB values to describe one color. Right? All right. So for using this example, RGB parenthesis, then 3 parameters for 3 components. The first component value 255. The second 0. Third 0. Okay? Yeah. So for each color, the value changes from 0 to 255. Okay? So that corresponds to 1 byte. We know 1 byte, 2 to the 8th power. Yeah. So that is 256. So from 0 to 255, that's 1 byte. So this big. All right. Now, if you see 0 value, so that is the grayscale intensity value, the lowest 0, okay, 0, yeah, value. So nothing for that component, 0. Highest, right? Highest, the grayscale value, highest 255, yeah, like that. Yeah. All right. So now, so you can see, yeah, for white color, yeah, for white color, yeah, for white color. So what RGB do we have? So white color, 0, 0, 0, right? So for black color, so this is for white. For black color, RGB 255. Okay. The other side, extreme, 255, 255. So this is black. Okay. All right. Other than that, so here for red, yeah, because this is red. For the red component, you use the maximum value. For other components, 2 other components, you use the minimum, yeah, component. Yeah. All right. Here, so that's the basic understanding of the color RGB values. Yeah. Now, if I ask you, How many total different colors? So can you answer me that question? How many total colors? That question. Okay? Yeah. Do multiplication, right? So each component, you have 256 choices. Second component, you have another 256 choices. The third component, you have another 256 choices. So that's the total number of different colors. Okay? So if we write power of 2, 8 times 8 times 8. So that's 2 to the 24th power. That number. So you can figure out, how large it is, right? How large it is. Can you quickly get that? Right? Quickly, approximately get that. Okay? All right. So here I approximately get that. Because this number approximately equal to 220 times 200 to the 4th. This is 16. 220 is close to 1 million. Okay? 1 million. So 16 million. About 16 million colors. Okay? So that's the total number of colors in the world. Yeah. All right. So that's the basic understanding of colors. Next, we can also represent colors using another way. This way also pretty popular, using this way, hexadecimal. We use hexadecimal. This is also another popular, commonly used color method, especially for CSS. For CSS, actually, most of the time, people like to use this way because compact. Okay, so here you can see, start with the hash character, hash sign. Okay, yeah. So representing the color value. Yeah. So we need to tell the browser this is a color expression. So we start with hash sign. After that, RGB components. 2 digits correspond to one component. Okay, the first component, first 2 digits, next 2 digits, second component, and so on. Yeah. So you can see we can represent. Yeah. Because each component, it's a hexadecimal, you have 16 different digits, right? 16 times 16, then you have 256. So that's the number we use, the decimal number we use in the previous expression. Yeah. So you have the same number of colors you can represent in this way. Yeah. Next, let me use another example. Here I just select a random color, but I want to show you the conversion. Okay? I want to show you these two different ways, the conversion, to help you understand. So how do we get different expressions? All right. So the name of this color, so I've found one. It's called turquoise. Yeah, turquoise. It's a green, yeah. So although it's a green, but could be, the number could be slightly different. Yeah. All right. So now let's look at the first component. 40 digits. 40. We use the hexadecimal. So 4, we need to multiply 16. Then plus that single digit 0. So we get 64. So the first component value is 64. Okay. All right. The second component value, E corresponds to 14. Yeah. Because in hexadecimal, A, B, C, D, E, F, okay, other than 9. Yeah, because from 0 through 9, A corresponds to 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's why E, we use 14 here. 14 times the base number. Base number is 16 plus the single digit. So we get this 224 value. Okay? Third component D corresponds to 13 times 16 plus the single digit number. We get 208. So you put these three numbers together, so we get RGB value 64, 224, and 208. Yeah. So that's how we do the conversion. Yeah. Here, I can tell you, I can give you this kind of questions, you know, in your quiz, homework assignment, you know, things like that. Okay, so ask you to do the conversion both ways. Yeah. This way, that way, you know. Yeah. All right. So that's this topic, color border. The next topic, border sides. Sides. Yeah. The sides, you can have different style, right? Yeah. So that dotted, solid, yeah. So we did that before. But here, I just give you another way to describe the side. Still, we use the same styles, but remember there are 4 sides, right? How do we describe the 4 sides? Here, each side. We still use that order: top, right, bottom, left, clockwise, not counterclockwise. So clockwise, okay, yeah, that order. So example, so let's look at this. Yeah. We can specify one by one, right? Yeah. So top, right, you know. When you do this, the size, the order doesn't matter. Yeah. So you can use any order you like. The size doesn't matter. Yeah. Because there is no confusion for the browser. The browser can understand it easily. Okay. Yeah. But sometimes people like to represent in the short way, like this, okay? Shorthand way. All right, so the style, so you do not specify which side, so 4 sides you consider altogether, then, but you just give 2. There are 4 sides, you just give 2, okay? If you give 2, you still top. Yeah, when you try to get a top, you have it. Try to get right, you have it. All right. When you get to the bottom, you don't have any color corresponds to it, or any style corresponds to it. You look at its opposite side. Okay. The bottom, its opposite side is top. So you have the top style. You just use your opposite side style. So that's the dotted again. Then solid, you use its opposite side style. Yeah, that's solid. Yeah, for that too. But for the 3, you are given 3 styles, but the 4th one you do not give it. So what's the rule? Does the browser use? Yeah, same as this one. Okay. Top is there, no problem. Right is there, you just use it. Double is there in the bottom. Yeah, bottom, you just use it, right? But the left, the last one left, there is no no style corresponds to it. Look at its opposite side. Look at so left, its opposite side, right. Its style, solid. So you have it, right? Yeah, so show you the picture, okay? Yeah, top, dotted, right, solid, double, bottom, left, you don't have it, but just look at your opposite side. It is solid, so you just take the solid, okay? So that's the basic rule the browser uses to understand the styling definition. Yeah. All right, so that's this video. So number 3. Yeah.